All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm James Knight, co-president of Zypre.
James, what are you showing here today at E3?
We are showing the world's first definitive, historically accurate, curated by the Smithsonian, Peter Jacob and Tom Crouch, the two world's leading experts on the Wright brothers. We're showing the first moment that the Wright brothers went airborne.
What are some of the challenges when developing a VR experience for the PC?
Frame rate, lighting, texturing, the blocking, getting everything exactly right. With the PC, wow, that's like a loaded question. That's a loaded question. It's clunky. It came together like a bittersweet symphony in the end. Yeah.
How have you seen VR evolve over the last 3 years?
Oh, well, evolve over the last 4 months. Here in LA, we have there's a guy named Cosmo, whose last name is escaping me, but him and his team have organized VR LA in December. It was fairly well attended, a couple hundred people. There was one in March. It was like 8-fold. It's crazy how VR is catching on like wildfire here in LA. So I know it must be a litmus test for the rest of the world. It must be catching on like crazy. And E3, obviously, wow.
How did you work with Oculus Rift and AMD to make your game a reality?
We work with AMD, so Liquid VR, AMD Fire Pro, and the Fiji. The new R9, the R9 300 series, made this possible. So it was Liquid VR, which is I think coming out later in the year. It kind of makes VR buttery smooth. Also, it helps with the frame rate. So with DK2, we were getting like 40 frames a second, but with using AMD's Crescent Bays and with Oculus's help, we got it to 90 frames a second. Which is a big deal for, when you turn your head and you have that lag, it kind of makes people sick. So if you try it yourself, it's a pretty immersive experience.
Where do you see VR 5 years from now?
Have you seen the movie WALL-E? I don't think we get our asses off the seats. Yeah. I think it's going to be a big education tool, not just gaming. So I think kids are going to, when you read or you learn about history from your teachers or from your parents, I think it's one thing to know about history, it's another thing to remember it because you were there. And I think as an education tool, it's absolutely massive.
When can people play your game?
Well, this is a preview, so you can't play it yet. We're probably going to do an unveiling in late summer, early fall. Yeah. So, but we will go to Zypre.com, Zypre.com for more information.